Back. I just want to go over a trade breakdown. I have put the full live trading session on uploading, and it's posting right now. Read order flow with me on Nasdaq futures. So that is the full trades. You can see every fault that I have. I'll keep the markings on, but actually, yeah, I'll keep the markings on. I'll just do a really quick breakdown. I do want to spill more secrets, to be honest. I just haven't got around for it. This video is insane. You need to watch this. But basically, 9:30 opens, sweep lower. Mm. 9:30 opens, we sweep lower, taking out current New York low. Some sell side liquidity here as well. Probably the NLOG. No. It did look like there would have been. Yeah. Technically the new week opening gap here. Oh no, it's not. Well, technically this whole thing is the new week opening gap. But yeah, we swept down, took out current New York low and some sell side liquidity. We then pumped up. Got a big 5-minute CSD, sent higher. But ultimately, as we approach 10 o'clock, you can see we reject this CSD level. You can't really see, but it's this line here. And then we tap into a bearish CSD at the top here. I believe it is only the 1 hour, yeah. Bang. So we re-tap in. Also tapping into this gap. So there's your key level. There's your CSD marked. You can see the bodies are respected the whole time. Now on record, we forward tested this exact entry here. Literally at the top of this inverse gap. Obviously, I trade 5-minute CSD first. So, yeah, we literally forward tested this whole trade here. But we always wait for M5 CSDs first. So we got that 5-minute CSD here. We come down to the lower time frame. So let me just draw this quick. So essentially, what we've done is, I'll do it on here, it's easier. Essentially, what this is to say we've got a key level here as well. So we're in here now. Now we're seeing an even smaller one. And then an even smaller one here. So this is the higher time frame, this is the lower time frame, right? As we come up in here, we get, well, an M5 CSD here. And then as we come back into the M5 CSD, we're then waiting for an M1 CSD, and that's your entry. So you're basically the same, this entry model, right? this basic entry model of this you then want to see this copied. Why is it not? But like a bit smaller. So in this leg here, you then want to see the exact same thing. That kind of makes sense. So yeah, as we got the 5-minute CSD, here, as we come up to the breaker and the CSD level, and then we got this 1-minute CSD out, that was our entry, and then stop loss covered the breaker. As sometimes when you have breakers, you don't need to rebalance the whole level, which as you can see we don't. So from this high to this low, we don't rebalance it, but because we've got the CSD a bit lower down and the breaker, there's no need for it to come back here. If we come back here, it's showing stronger signs of bullishness. If we stay in this area, the CSD level and the breaker, that shows weakness for bearish price. So you can see here, CSD is there, the breaker is there. You can actually use the opposite. Obviously that doesn't actually play out, I don't think. Yeah, from here to here, yeah. So we just stayed in that breaker. We partialed at this level here, which is I explained why in the trading video, but I'll explain why again. Basically, here, obviously, I'll just draw it. The reason I partial there, this is price, right? And then this is like a low time frame CSD. So this is M15 CSD. And then this is only the 5. So we're getting the entry off the 5, but because the M15 holds higher weight, we'd want to partial at the M15 because technically in this leg here, we're still bullish until we close past like here or here. Because we're fractalizing price to M5, we know that if we get an M5 bearish CSD, that's going to rebalance the M15 bullish leg. So that is why we partialed, along with there being an M5 gap here as well, which we partialed at 50%. And then obviously we got break even because this is just very accumulated, as you can see, like up, down, chop, 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 then down to TP. But on a low probability day, and the reason why it was low probability, if it loads, is because we had no news. It's also NFP week, so you are likely to see a lot more accumulation. But yeah, low probability day, I don't want to be risking anything if it's lower probability. So yeah, these are the shorts. It played out perfectly to 930 low. And then let's actually take a look. Okay, so we did get the M15 CSD, but yeah, this is just kind of really just accumulating. The main factor of why we was bearish is because we failed to close above this hourly bullish CSD. Now originally I was looking at London High because it looked like we was gonna make this CSD at 9:30, then get a trade maybe into the breaker, carry on to high of day. But because we rejected this bullish CSD level, which is also a 4-hour level also, we failed to close above here. That is proof to me that we are going to be bearish. So we can utilize that we failed to close above an hourly CSD, which means we're failing to change order flow to then show lower prices. Now, as you can see, we finally got this sweep, which was the original target, but we just knew we was not going to get there. It was a target, but we wasn't going to get there in that trade. So now we have swept out. What am I looking for? Now, we've swept down. We do actually have soup here. The CSD level of this leg is here. So until we close above here, we cannot be bullish. So for this, we can just see this as a retracement leg. Because if the CSD is all the way up here, unless we start closing above here, which doesn't look like we are, or at least in an hour's time we will not close above here, we are going to be shorting probably to this low again. And then if this week wants to be a bullish week, this is simply just the same image as we made the other day of this. So if we're going to be a bullish week, you will likely see the first couple of days sell off and then be bullish. With NFP, that makes sense. So right now it's setting up for a bearish day. 4-hour again. If we was to be bullish off of this key level, we need a close above here, and we're only going to find that out at 10, and we're only going to find this out at 9. So it is looking more like shorts. Obviously, you would ideally want to see this bearish CSD to confirm lower prices. I don't know if there is actually that many targets. There's loads of equal lows. So you would ideally, if you was bearish, you would like to see this close below to show that we've now switched back to bearish order flow. Obviously the inverse gap is good, but unless you've got that CSD, it just makes it so much lower probability. Obviously you can fractalize price with this soup. You could probably argue this CSD, yeah, cool, but we want to, if we're trading the daily range, we want to be able to read order flow from the hourly chart. So if we mark midnight here, if this was going to be the low of the day, we would have got a CSD up here by now. If this was going to be the high of the day, we'll get a CSD down there. So right now, trading is not an option. Obviously because it's not our time, but there is no confirmation of order flow changing. Because if this is higher day, we should close below here, which we tried to, but doesn't look like we did. It looks like we rejected it. So maybe you could have got longs at 8. We'll test that as well, because we did not close. And you cannot say that this is lower of the day because we haven't closed above here. So both ways, you can't say this is higher day because we haven't closed here. You can't say it's lower day because we haven't closed. So right now it is just a low probability day. Obviously with yesterday, this day was accumulation. With Friday, which is a TGIF setup anyways, what did we do? This is high of the day, right? Not really that convincing. Around 9:30 we swoop down. 10 a.m. opens. What do? We close above CSD, tap back into it, tap into the inverse, and we are a bullish day, and we close up here, and then we close out around here. That was a perfect day. Friday was really good. Right now we are just trading accumulation, which you can trade, but you need specific criteria of CSDs. Now let's test this bearish CSD logic. So at 7 o'clock, let's say we was expecting this to be high day and this to be closed below. Now as we soup it and do not close below, we could then scale down to the 5-minute. So this is the 8 o'clock open. So we can see we reject it. We do not close above. what do we then do? We then get a 5-minute CSD, get an inverse here, and I know we're seeing a bearish move here, but until we close below here, we are not bearish. So you could definitely be taking longs in this gap. Obviously, this is, like I'm saying, accumulation. It's not pretty. Like, what is going on? But you could be taking these trades. And then you can scale down to the 1 minute if you're really that brave. You can take a 1 minute CSD to a 5-minute CSD level. So you can take this 1 minute CSD to the 5-minute CSD level. So obviously this has already been taken, so it's not that great. You also don't get a breaker touch, and we close above. So technically longs are still on after we take this, because we close above the 5 minute, so a retracement is valid. Where we're going to retrace to, likely the 1 minute CSD. So instead of taking a trade like this on the CSD, having a stop all the way down here, where can you target? What have we not got? Well, we have actually got a 15-minute CSD. You wouldn't really want to take it all the way up there. Yeah, it's kind of just, there's not really much targets, but if you was to target like these equal highs, that's port R, you could literally have targeted, you could put your entry on the breaker, stop underneath. If the breaker is in discount, happy days. If not, even better stop loss. But because the breaker's in discount, even more probability. You could have literally just targeted this high. But obviously, this is fractalizing too much. You don't want to fractalize too much, because then you lose the value of its meaning. Obviously, we did get a CSD here, but it's not too convincing. It is a big candle, but we'll see if this forward test plays out. But hopefully you kind of understand the logic. And I'll just make a really simple timesheet. High time frame PDA, high time frame key level. We would like to see H1 / H4 CSD in favour of bias / rejected CSD for bias also. 2 M5 CSD, 3 M5 inverse gap / fair value gap, 4 breaker, entries. My keyboard battery is dying. M5 breaker, M1 CSD out of M5 retracement. And you'd also probably like to see SMT also. So this is kind of what you'd want to see at least. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. I don't know how long I've been talking, but yeah, like I said though, another low probability day, because I wish I had news. Yeah, Cloudflare's not working at all. Hold on. Is that down as well? No. 10 AM delayed. So yeah, we do have NFP on. Where is it? So we literally had NFP. It's not showing. I'm pretty sure we've got NFP Thursday though. But yeah, we'll see. It is setting up to be a bit more bearish, because unless we close above here, by 9 or 10. We're not going to be long. But then also we rejected this bearish CSD level, so we could literally just be an accumulation day. And unless you have a higher time from CSD, you don't trade, because there's no confirmation of anything. So that should be the rule. No high time frame CSD, no trade. So that's what we're going to do. We could argue both ways. We haven't got a bullish CSD, but then we also haven't got a bearish CSD. So right now there is nothing to trade. On Friday though, at 10 a.m, we opened up with a bullish CSD, bang, longs. Now yesterday was a bit more advanced. We had a bearish CSD and we rejected a bullish CSD. So our bias was bearish. We can write that out as well. Old bearish CSD. Rejected bullish CSD level. Bearish bias. Old bullish CSD. Rejected bearish CSD. Bullish bias. Easy. Yeah, that's it for the breakdown. I did a lot more than I was supposed to, but I kind of wanted to give you guys source. But yeah, see you guys for today's trading if I record it. If not, then I'll do a breakdown. But yeah.